Hello thinkers, welcome back to our channel. Today on Stoic Geopolitics, we analyze one of the most important phenomena of our time, the struggle for hegemonic power in the world and how this confrontation opens up concrete opportunities that the peoples of the Americas must learn to take advantage of intelligently. The struggle for power has always existed in human societies, both individually and collectively. Today, we are witnessing a new manifestation of this struggle on a global scale. We already experienced something similar during the so-called Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, a bipolar, ideological, military and economic confrontation that divided the world into two blocks. It was a Cold War because, although there were indirect conflicts, it never reached a full-blown direct clash between the two superpowers. Today, the dynamics are different. We can call it a hybrid confrontation or a hot war in unconventional terms. Although it maintains a strong bipolar character, it involves more actors and unfolds in multiple dimensions: economic, technological, cultural, informational, and indirect military. The United States seeks to maintain its hegemony. China is emerging as a major challenger power, and Russia plays an active role as a strategic counterweight. Let's look at the key differences with the Cold War. Back then, the Soviet Union represented an orthodox communist model, a fully planned economy, no private property, and absolute state control over all aspects of life. Today, Russia has changed significantly. It is no longer a completely planned economy. It has market elements, powerful oligarchs, and selective integration with the global economy, but it maintains strong state control in all strategic sectors, such as energy and defense. China represents a different case of pragmatic realignment. It continues to be governed by the Communist Party, but in practice, it has developed what many analysts call state capitalism. The state maintains absolute political control and directs strategic sectors, but it allows and even encourages the existence of private billionaires, corporate giants like Alibaba, Tencent, and Huawei, and an extremely dynamic domestic market. It is a unique combination of communist political control with selective capitalist application. On the other hand, the current confrontation is no longer just capitalism versus communism, but between strong statism, with greater state control over the economy and society, and liberalism, with a greater emphasis on individual freedom, the open market, and representative democracy. This dispute is more complex, more technological, and more cultural than the previous one. Before moving on, dear friends, let's deconstruct some concepts that we constantly repeat but rarely understand in their true depth. Disinformation. It's not just lying, it's the deliberate manipulation of information to alter the perception of reality and gain a strategic advantage. Fake news. Content designed primarily to generate strong emotions, such as anger, fear, or blind hope, rather than to inform objectively. Narratives. Stories constructed by the powerful to justify actions, align wills, and give meaning to events according to their interests. Ideology. A system of ideas that, when it becomes an unnegotiable dogma, destroys critical thinking and turns people into fanatics incapable of seeing the whole picture. Power. The real capacity to influence the behavior of others, even to the point of making them act against their own true interests. Manipulation. The most sophisticated and dangerous form of control, which consists of making people believe they are choosing freely when in reality they are being directed. These instruments are used by great powers to try to control the swing of the pendulum of history. Now then, how should the peoples of the Americas position themselves in the face of this reality? This is where our discipline, Stoic Geopolitics, offers a clear and powerful guide. Applying Epictetus's dichotomy of control, we understand that the peoples of Latin America do not control who will win the great dispute between the United States and China, nor Russia's strategies, nor the international price of raw materials. That is not up to us. What is up to us is how we respond internally and how we take advantage of the opportunities that this struggle generates. Because the pendulum of history never stops. When it swings strongly, it always opens doors that were previously closed. And right now, those doors are opening in several countries in our region. Let's look at these clear examples. In Venezuela, the direct action of the United States and the internal fracturing of the Chavista regime are creating a historic window for a possible transition to a more democratic system, with a real possibility of free, transparent, and fully auditable elections. In Cuba, the same international pressure and the reactions of the Cuban people to a situation of extreme poverty and lack of freedoms, along with a shift in the regional balance of power, are generating the urgent need for change that allows for processes of gradual opening toward greater freedoms and prosperity. These are not gifts from any empire. They are opportunities generated by the pendulum's swing. The Stoic challenge is to be prepared to seize them with prudence and pragmatism. That means ceasing to focus all our energy on resisting or fighting the great power, and instead beginning to envision and act upon the opportunities that are opening up. It means developing the economy, culture, and values in an integrated way, because a prosperous economy without virtue breeds corruption. A rich culture without values produces decadence. Only when all three advance together does a nation become truly strong. That is the true shield of a civilization, the ability to reach a favorable stage and effectively maintain it over time. Stoic Geopolitics teaches us that true sovereignty is neither isolation nor submission to any empire. It is active prudence, knowing how to read the pendulum swing and acting decisively when opportunities arise. Thinkers, the struggle for world power will continue. Empires will rise and fall. But those nations that develop character, unity, discernment, and wisdom will be the ones that transform global chaos into real progress and collective eudaimonia. I want to read your comments carefully. Do you see concrete opportunities in your country that the people should seize now? Do you think it's more important to resist external power or to build upon the opportunities that are emerging? If you enjoyed this analysis, please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next installment of Stoic Geopolitics. Thinking well is living better. May virtue, clarity, and wisdom always be with you. See you soon.